Hi friends, good morning. Uh, Today I'm going to show you the configuration of BGP and OSPF in our Palo Alto lab topology series. So I have already shown you the configuration of dynamic routing protocol RIP and the OSPF in previous video, and I show you the redistribution between the both and route filtering, everything. I show you authentication in previous video between the RIP and OSPF. Today I'm going to show you the configuration of BGP and OSPF. I will do the redistribution between the both and authentication. Everything I will show you in this video on Palo Alto Firewall and the routers both. So today I have already done the all four routers wiped. So it's a fresh device. So I will show you from the configuration from beginning. Okay. I already done the power on off device because of it's taking quite time, and due to that the video is getting long, so that's why I already on the devices. So let's start the configuration. We can You can see nothing is here on device, so I'm just going to start the assigning the IP address on device. Interface. Okay, so done the IP addressing on this device. Now come to the secondary router, DMZ zone. Okay, interface. So I have done the IP addressing part on the routers, all four routers, DMZ zone and the trust zone. Now, first of all, I'm going to configure the BGP on DMZ zone. Okay. Here the OSPF configuration will be similar like a previous video. I will enable the OSPF on both sides on this router with the area 0, but on router 2 I will enable the OSPF gig 0 by 0 with the area 0, and 0 by 1 will be with the area 1, and I will configure the EIGRP here with the one loopback, and I will do the redistribution with the EIGRP to OSPF. So let's do it. Okay, first of all I'm going to enable the BGP here on router 1 and router 2 of the DMZ zone. Okay, router BGP 65101, BGP router ID. I will configure the BGP with the AS number 65100 on Palo Alto firewall. So that's why I given the remote AS as a 65100, and the IP address of 172.168.148.254 is the IP address assigned on Palo Alto firewall 1 by 2. So that's why I given the neighbor IP address, uh, this one. Okay, now advertise the prefix. Just done. You can see what configuration I did in BGP on router 1, and just wait, because if I haven't enabled the BGP so on the neighbor router, so it will not show you. Just a minute, I'm just going to start the configuration on router 2. Already we are in config mode. Router, so done. BGP configuration is done on the both router of DMZ zone. Now come to the Palo Alto firewall. Okay. You can see I'm going to do the configuration of OSPF as well. Then I will we go to the Palo Alto firewall configuration. So start the OSPF configuration on trust zone router 1. Mm, Sorry, wildcard mask area 0. So on router 1, I will advertise the interface 0 by 0 and 0 by 1. Both will be with member of area 0 only. So okay, and done. Hmm. Now come to the router 2. Here first of all I am going to create one interface, loopback interface, so that I will configure the EIGRP with that loopback. So interface loopback 21. Okay, IP address 21.21.21.21 255.255.255.255. Okay, yeah. Now come to the configure the EIGRP first. Oh, sorry. 21. Now start the configuration of OSPF. Area 0. This one is the this IP address 10.168.148 is the IP address of area 0 of the interface 0 by 0. But 0 by 1 I will configure here in the area 1. Okay, so just change the area and change the IP address of yes, done. Now I have to redistribute as well EIGRP, right? So redistribute EIGRP 21 subnets. Done. To right. So run pipe section OSPF. You can see what configuration I done here. Ah, now come to the Palo Alto firewall. Okay. Okay. So now come to the firewall. Okay. Network. I already done the IP addressing on the interface. You can see zone interface configuration is done. Now we need to configure the routing part. So come to the virtual router, default, then first of all OSPF. Okay. So I already show you how to enable the OSPF here on the firewall. Again, I'm going to show you, right? So just come. Now we have to define the router ID. Okay, so I'm giving the router ID 11.11.11.11 on firewall for the OSPF. Okay, now come to the area, add. Here we have to define the area like this. Okay, now come to the range. If it's a optional, if you want, you can define either, not a mandatory, but I'm going to define it. 10.168.148.0/24. You can see the similarities on the interface 1 by 3, that is 10.168.148.0/24. Okay, come to the interface. Which interface will be the member of OSPF? It's asking. So the interface will be 1 by 3. You can see it's a 1 by 3, right? Okay, just okay. So OSPF is done. Now come to the BGP. So first of all, check the enable option. Now define the router ID. I'm going to use the router ID 100 here. Okay, for the or 111. Okay, dot 111. I used 101 and 102. 101 is here on router 1, 102 is on router 2, and 100 I'm going to use here on Palo Alto firewall. Okay, yeah. What is the AS number of firewall? That is 65100, right? I used the same. You can see here 65100. Okay, so now just install the root. Okay, now come to the peer group. So see here. Here is the AS number is 65100 on router 101 on router 1 and the 102 on router 2, and I'm going to enable the router on firewall, that is the 65100. So if you will see, all three AS numbers are different, so it will make the neighborship between each other with the, as a eBGP, right? uh, so now define the name of peer group. What name you want to give there? So I'm going to give the name EBGP peer group. I'm going to make with the DMZ zone. Okay, yeah. EBGP DMZ zone. Okay, fine. Now add. Now define the router name with whom you are going to make the neighborship. So I'm going to make the neighborship with the DMZ router 1 first. So I'm going to define the name DMZ RTR01. Okay. What is the AS number of them? 65101. Right? Okay. What is the interface of local? Means firewall interface. That is 1 by 2. What is the IP address of them? That is one, this one. It will autoface. Now it's asking the neighbor IP address, that is 172.168.148.101. This IP address is router 1 IP address, neighbor IP address, right? And just do it. Okay. 168.148.101. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to add another with the router, that is DMZ router 2. So DMZ RTR02. What is the AS number of them? That is 65102. What is the local interface? IP address of the interface? Neighbor IP address, that is 172.168.148.102. So just match it. 101 10102. ठीक है. Okay, okay, just okay. Now BGP configuration is also done. Just do it OK and commit. So just wait for the commit successful. After that we'll see the never ship up on the router. You will see the logs as well. Just wait some time. Okay, so you can see the logs never ship up of BGP. So IP BGP summary. You can see, right? I can see one route as well. If you will check, so IP BGP, you will see here. Which route? This one. 130 is the self-advertised prefix, right? Because you can identify with the next hop, right? You can see it's a 000 because of I'm on router 1 and you can see on router 1 172.168.138.254. So I was advertised under the OSP BGP, so it's a self-advertised prefix, but I received one new prefix, that is 172.168.128.0, which one is of the router 2 interface prefix. Through the firewall I received. You can see the firewall AS number is 65100. What happened? Router 2 is given this prefix to firewall, and firewall is advertised the same prefix to router 1 because of it's a eBGP neighborship, right? Okay. Now come on router 2. You can see here also the neighborship is up. So IP BGP summary. Here also you received one prefix. Here will be the prefix, that is 138. You can see. So IPBGP. You just check. Yeah. Here 128 is the self-advertised prefix, but 138 we received through the firewall. You can see the AS number of firewall, right? Yes. If you want to ping, you can ping. It will be pingable. 172, 168, 138, 254. You can see. So it's done. Now come to the OSPF. You can see it's also up. So IP OSPF never. Yeah. 1111 was the router ID, right? So it's done. Of firewall. IP address also here. 10.168.148.254. That is the interface IP address of 1 by 3 on Palo Alto firewall. Similar here. So IP OSPF never. So now the neighborship is up between the both. Now check the route. So IP route OSPF. So IP route OSPF. Yeah. So IP route BGP. Yeah. So it's done. Now come to the redistribution part. So I will redistribute OSPF into the BGP and BGP into the OSPF. After then we'll see the authentication part. Okay, first of all I'm going to show you the redistribution. This one is the information because of I was used the different router ID for the different protocol. Like BGP I used this and OSPF this. So it's kind of information. Nobody, just close it. Now come to the virtual router. Okay, default. First of all, create the profile. So I'm going to create the profile for the redistribution purpose. I'm going to uh, OSPF into BGP. One, just check this option and OSPF. BGP into OSPF. Okay, redistribute BGP. Okay, done. Now call them the protocol. So just here you will see the export rule. Just call here BGP into OSPF, right? Come to the BGP. Here you will see the option redistribution rule, right? Just check, click here and call the OSPF into BGP and do the commit. After commit, you will see the each DMZ zone prefix into the trust and trust into the DMZ zone. So the both will be share the prefix information to each other. Hmm. So it's done. Commit successfully. Now come to router and check. Router 1, previously only single prefix was received. Now you will see the OSPF, that is 10.168, 128, 138 and 148 and the 21 as well, right? So all the prefix of trust zone is shared to DMZ zone, right? Similar you will see here as well. You can see on OSPF also you will see the prefix of BGP. You can see. So it's done the redistribution. Now the part is coming to testing. So do the testing. Just start testing. Ping 172, 168, 128, 254. Source 10.168, 128, 254. But you will see it's not pinging. I already show you in previous video why it's not pinging right now. If you want you can remember, I will remember that I will show you why it's not pinging. Just first of all execute this command for the testing purpose. After then I will show you why. You can see no one is able to ping to each other. Why? Because of policy. We haven't configured the policy yet. It's only routing I configured. But this one between the devices there is a firewall, and firewall policy is most important. Okay. Without policy you cannot be cross the limit. You cannot ping. So first of all come to the policy, and I'm going to create the security policy vice versa between the DMZ zone and the trust zone. So okay, copy. Source will be both and destination will be also both, so that it the both will be start to ping each other, right? Okay, just commit. Wait for the commit successful. After then we'll see the result. Okay, so commit is done. Now come to the route CLI and just do the testing once again. Previously it was not able to ping, right? Now just check. You can see now this router is able to ping from DMZ zone to trust zone. Now try to ping trust to DMZ zone. You can see each one is able to ping to each other. Everyone is able to ping, right? So this was the redistribution. Now come to the authentication. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to configure the authentication here on router 1 of DMZ zone. Means I'm going to enable the authentication on BGP router. Okay, in BGP. So conf t router BGP 65101 neighbor 172 168 148 254. Now just password, and I'm going to use Cisco. It's by default MD5. Okay, so no need to define the MD5 because BGP is supporting only MD5 authentication. If you will read the theory part of BGP, so you will see now. Just wait, because of 180 second is the hold down timer, so it will wait till the time. So I'm going to do one thing, clear IP BGP star. So it will be, yeah, never ship is down. You can see now the logs on, just wait, you will start to receive the logs for the MD5. Yeah. No MD5 digest from 254. It's asking the authentication I am not receiving from the neighbor because of its neighborship is stable between the router 1 and the firewall. So that's why you are getting the IP address of 172.168.148.254. That is the firewall. This IP only you are receiving. But if you will check here on this router, you will see the neighborship is up and fine. Everything is fine. Just I'm showing you. So IP BGP summary. You can see neighborship is up. So IP route BGP. You can see route is also there. So come to the firewall. I'm going to enable the authentication here for the peer eBGP peer and the device is DMZ zone router 1. But on this router I will not enable the for this router I will not enable the authentication in this video. Only for this router I will enable. Okay. Come to the network virtual router. Okay. Default BGP. You can see here authentication profile. Just add AUTH PROFILE BGP. What is the password? CISCO, right? CISCO. Okay. Now it will be call on the peer. So come to the peer group. Just now on which you are going to enable the authentication. So I'm going to enable with the DMZ router 1 only. So just click here. Not now. Okay, okay. Just cast connection object option. You can see here authentication profile, right? Just call them and okay, okay, and commit and wait. Hmm. So it's done now. You will see here. You will the logs is stopped. You can see neighborship is up and now you are not receiving the no MD5 digest from right. So check so IP BGP summary. You can see neighborship is up. So IP route BGP. You can see every route is there. You can ping. You will be able to ping as well. Yes. And on router 1, router 2, I have not enabled the authentication. But and you can see the neighborship is also up. Route is also there. And from here also I am able to ping to the trust zone prefix, right? So this was the part of authentication in BGP. Now come to the OSPF. I already show you how to enable in previous video also, but because of here I configured fresh, so I'm just going to enable the authentication once again. It will not take big time, very quiet time, and then we'll complete the video. Come to the router, OSPF 100 area 0. You can see neighborship is down, right? Come to the router 2 as well. Conf t. Yeah. Yeah. Now you can see neighborship is down with the firewall because of authentication is not enabled, but neighborship is up with the router because of on both router I enable the authentication. Previously you will see no neighborship was show here, right? Now if you will execute the same command, you will get one neighborship with the router 2. Now come to the firewall to enable the authentication. So just go to the virtual router OSPF. Here I need to enable the authentication. So you can see auth profile here, right? I already show you in previous video also how we enable the authentication on OSPF, REAP. Today I show you in BGP and OSPF again. AUTHPROFILE OSPF, right? What type of authentication? See difference in BGP. When I was created the authentication profile, I was not get the option for simple and MD5, only MD5, because BGP is supporting the MD5 authentication only. But in OSPF you can see both are showing you. So I'm just going to select MD5, just key ID 1, key Cisco, again CISCO. Okay, okay, just call them, right? So here authentication profile, right? Just call here and commit. After commit successful, you will see the neighborship here with the both firewall and the router, and it will start to ping each other. Currently it's not because neighborship is down between the firewall and the OSPF router. That's why it's not able to ping. Just wait. Yeah, it's done. Now come to the CLI. You will see now the never ship with the firewall also, right? You can see here also you can see. Now try to ping again. You can see now result. So this was the configuration of BGP and OSPF, redistribution, authentication, everything I show you. Thanks for watching in this video this much only. I will come again with the new topic in new video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe my channel.